Okay, welcome back to KSP. Now, you'll note it's daytime, right? Which I believe the last time I ended it was nighttime. So that is a clear indicator that something is different. Well, the thing is, I already built a ship to put the stuff into space, and things went terribly wrong. So much, in fact, that I ended up just saying to hell with it and scrapping that footage. The first problem I ran into was lack of monopropellant. I know, right? You're like, wait a minute, didn't you say you weren't going to need all that monopropellant? Well, apparently I do. The second problem I ran into is lack of RCS ports. Hence the need for extra monopropellant. So I'm thinking I want to put it there, but it won't let me do that because of that monopropellant tank. So we'll shift all of these up. There. Now, if you're wondering why I'm putting RCS tanks on all of these, because that probe body is going to need to move these, and it'll be easier to move with the RCS tanks, with the RCS ports on the side there as well. So where's that? Okay, so I need to line all of those ports up with each other, more or less, so that way everything is going exactly as it should be. Oh wait, I messed up. Because I only need ones on the bottom. Don't need the ones on the top. Okay. So we have a whole lot more monopropellant. Okay. That should be enough monopropellant. And then I need to do something about this thing's stability, because it's terrible. But while I'm here, I want that probe body. Let me select the probe body. This one. Alright, well, you're not doing anything. At least you're not doing what I want you to do. Actually, that almost worked out perfectly enough to where... Oh, because... Oh, okay. Because those are set at 4 times symmetry now for some stupid reason. Let's say, man, that worked out perfectly, that these things slid on without overlapping, which, don't get me wrong, they still don't really overlap. Well, that one does, but okay, so that should be plenty of monopropellant. Alright, and plenty of RCS ports this time, because this thing had a serious acceleration problem the last time. Now I'm wondering if... So I need... What I need to do is I need to strut these together, unfortunately. Which of course is going to leave nasty looking struts all over the place. I don't really have much of a choice. It really needs it. So, 4, attach there. I'm not really worried about how these things look, because they're all going to come off anyway, so don't know why that one shifted to 3 instead of 4, and why that one's on 3 instead of 4, but whatever. Okay. So that should be fine. If I remember correctly, all my staging should be right. Okay, no, so those two are backwards. Why didn't it shift those around? Okay, so the first 2 tanks to drop off should be these 2. So those 2 should be the one that are glowing. Yes, and then those 2. Okay. Alright, so fortunately you guys didn't have to sit through the construction of that. But I am going to resave that because I'll basically just keep sending this same thing up over and over again until my station is done. So while I have a few minutes to talk you guys through about the awesomeness that you were about to see, which is literally the greatest thing I have ever made and or seen in KSP. This is really awesome, by the way, but I'm not going to spoil it. I do want to take a few minutes to talk about, because I have 12 of them, to talk about some stuff that's going to happen. I'm going to end up going dark for a while because over the weekend I had some serious car troubles and ended up having to fix my other car, and then I ended up getting a virus on my computer and ended up redoing my computer, which resulted in, well, about as catastrophic as the explosion you're seeing. Basically what happened was I redid my computer and I lost all of my saved game files from all the stuff that I had done on Steam, which is pretty much everything, including KSP. So I'm going to be going dark for a while just so I can kind of get myself back to where I'm supposed to be on these games. Yeah, it really sucks. I mean, if I had to do it with Dragon Age, I would be absolutely pissed. But fortunately, that stuff automatically saves. I thought Steam did as well, but it didn't. So I'm gonna have to play some catch up with KSP, XCOM, and Free Space. So you're not gonna see any videos. I'm not going to be posting any videos of them for a while, but I will continue to post videos of Dragon Age and Defiance every week. I'll do my best to get as caught up as quickly as I can on KSP, but it's probably going to have to... It probably won't be until after the Christmas break when I'll actually physically be able to get everything kind of caught up, because that'll be the only time when I have enough free time to actually kind of dedicate to all these games. So I apologize if you are interested in one of these series that is gonna go missing for a while, and don't worry, I will get back to them. It's not a case of me not being interested, it's just a case of, well, computers and stuff like that. So getting back to KSP, however, I found that I have an easier time attaching docking ports on the side like you're going to see, rather than docking them front to back. I don't know why that is. Like, maybe it's just a case of, like, maybe the ship was too big or something like that, but still, this thing is awesome, and it actually lends itself to yet another problem, because I had originally planned on adding more tanks to the outside of the of this section, and, well, the problem with that was, now that I'm looking at it after seeing it, because it's really, really awesome, guys, like, if you want to skip to the end of it, just to kind of see what happens, I literally posted it, like, directly at the end. So, you know, like, it's the last 4 or 5 minutes of the video. Yeah, like, it is really, really cool. So it kind of lends itself to what I'm going to do next with the station. Because it's the first time I've actually built something in KSP that has turned out exactly how I wanted it to, right? Which is really kind of scary and a little bit unnerving. So, I mean, I guess it's no surprise I ended up getting a virus on my computer and my car is broken. Unfortunately, like I said, I don't know what I want to do, because now, like, the wealth of possibilities are just, like, endless. There's some parts that I desperately want to get my hands on as soon as possible to kind of make it look more like a station, and there are a few things that I'm missing. Most notably, RCS ports on the actual central portion of the station. But you'll see that, and I'm thinking what I'm going to do is I'll move that probe body to the top instead of the bottom. Not to mention, the whole station does need to be flipped 180 degrees because it's facing south, and I want it facing north. So, but it does look fantastic. Like, I mean, seriously, when you're done seeing it, you're going to be like, dang. Like, it's cool. I'm going to be debating that while I catch up. Or should I say catch back up to myself in the game. Now, fortunately, this game's not going to be that bad because there's not a lot that can change in this game from time to time. Other games are going to be a little bit more difficult, like XCOM, for instance, where stuff is it's not really the same twice. So that one's going to be a bit tricky to get myself back to where I was at. And I'll probably have to explain why there's some differences and stuff like that, which is going to be really annoying. But I'm going to make videos of all this stuff for all of that later on today, depending on how long it takes me to get this car going. Or I might actually not and just have a handful of videos to upload. I'm probably just going to end up having like this one video to upload this weekend. Or this week. So yeah, all of my plans are pretty much shot to hell. And it's going to be an interesting next couple of weeks. So, actually, seeing as I'm going to be a little bit off, if you guys have any ideas after seeing this station, if you guys have any ideas as to what you want to see, like if you want me to put something else onto the station, like if you have an idea for the design or something like that, let me know. Like I said, it's going to take me at least a couple days to get back to this point because it was a lot of science that I needed to get here, and it required me to go all the way out to Minmus in order to get enough science just to get to this point. So, and then there was the actual building. Oh, the building. That painful, agonizing building. But I know what to do this time, and I probably will, since I have to go back and rebuild the thing anyway, go back and add the bits that I need to add to it to make everything function a bit more properly. So, it may not look exactly the same, but at the very least, I'll try and keep it as close to this one that you're going to see, this station that you're going to see, as possible. I will obviously fix a few minor problems, like the RCS ports, for instance. Like, I will definitely have those on there this time. But otherwise, everything else was pretty much fine. I'm trying to think. Definitely put solar panels on the big rocket, which I'll have another video specifically for explaining why that, yeah, it was terrible. Very, very terrible. So moral of the story is don't ever get a virus on your computer. And if you do, always make sure to keep the save files, because that's what happened. Was I had the save files, I had them in the program section of the folder, and deleted the program section because it was taking up an insanely large amount of space, which it would do. So yeah. Oh, and if you notice that quick save there, that was because, as you probably saw, the ship didn't do what I wanted it to do, but that's not really that big of a surprise. So you guys are actually getting caught up to like me going back to the regularly scheduled programming, if you will. So yeah, I'm trying to get as best as I can get this thing close to like, I want it at least within 75 meters of it. I'm shooting for 50, but yeah, you know, we'll get it as close as we can get it and go from there. It makes life so much easier on the probe, not having to travel halfway across the planet just to grab the next section. So, otherwise, I can't really think of much else that I wanted to make sure to mention. I might try switching video editing tools. I might give Power Director a try, see how that works out for me. Field test some other stuff. I like Windows Movie Maker, but Windows Movie Maker definitely has its
So we're getting close to the
share
spot
of
that I want to be at, which is roughly about 50
ups
meters.
and
But I'm
downs
going to quick
and
save
problems
70.
and
I'm going to quick
nooks
save there.
and crannies and all that good
Just so
stuff.
that way.
Yeah. So, but I've gotten used
There's
to
a
it.
little confusion
It's
about
a bit
what's going
cumbersome
on
to
here.
use, but all in all, it's not too bad.
Why
So,
do
you
I want
know,
to be so close?
Otherwise,
Very
yeah,
dangerous? Yes,
like I
it
said, I
is,
mean,
but I
I'm
want to be that
really
close
desperately
because
struggling to find
I
stuff
really
to talk
should have
about
put
right now.
RCS ports on top of this thing.
So you're gonna hear me say
Wait, I did,
a
didn't
lot,
I? Yeah, I did.
which
Okay, I want to be that close because
Yeah. So, but fortunately, I'm down to the last few minutes.
that
So
means I'll have to do
I've
less
rambled
traveling
enough.
between
Like I said, the show, this series will be coming back.
bodies.
I said show. It's not a show. It's a series. This series will be coming back. All my series will be coming back.
So I can deal with the fact that it wants to try and do that. So we're going to quick save one more time. So more or less, it's sitting stationary, which is fantastic. So what I want to do is I want to decouple this, right? Then we need to... Okay. So first we need to get close to the station. Now fortunately, it doesn't really matter which direction I put these tanks on. All that matters is that I put them on. But it does sort of matter, like, so I can't put it on this way, because if I put it on this way, then nothing's going to line up right. Which is always fun. I need to put it on this way first, and then this way. Okay, so I want to set that as my target. Get rid of that. Right. So the first thing I need to do is I need to burn that way, and then that way. Get rid of that. Okay. And I can tell you right now that what I'm doing is the most difficult thing you can ever do with a ship. So that is burning towards it, yes? Yes. So J is towards. Okay, so it looks like we're slipping down a tiny bit, and then there. So I need to burn a little bit more towards it. Okay. So yeah, it is slowly rotating, which is terrible. Which thereby makes a bad situation even worse. Okay.
because it's all those fine motor controls that you never really think that you're going to use. Okay. So that way, that way, that way, that way. See, what would be nice right now is if this thing would just attach on its own, but it doesn't want to do that. Come on, dang it. Come on, 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 come on. Yes! Now, here is where the problem comes into play at. So, shut the RCS, shut that off. Right? I now need to detach the probe, which is fine. Right, and then we should be able to turn the stability control back on and switch to the probe. And RCS. Nope, 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 nope. Oh, one. Okay. So I need to set that as my target. And of course, I didn't refill the probe's juice before I left, like I should have done. Now you see, docking the probe is going to be easy. Really, really easy. Okay, I need to go down. Up and slow ourselves down and more up with a little to the left and down. Okay, and rotate until you are facing vaguely the right direction, which actually is upside down, but that's okay. So, take a left. With a few gentle ticks of right. So you see how that is like that? That's what I wanted this thing to do originally. But of course it wouldn't do that. Because it was being a stubborn pain in my butt. I need a quick save because that station is actually getting slightly farther away from us now, which means once I redock, I'm going to have to make adjustments. Okay. No such thing as fine motor controls, I'm telling you. I might have to bump it. Okay. So I'm trying to keep this thing vaguely lined up. There we go. Alright, so I need to select, get a map, set as target. Yeah, so we are slowly moving away from it, which is fine, don't get me wrong. I mean, could be worse, trust me. But we do have our first piece attached. Oh man, that was so difficult. That was so difficult. So needlessly difficult. Fortunately, we have plenty of monopropellant. That actually, I'm not gonna lie, that went a whole lot better than I ever could have anticipated it going. Okay. So I need to go, because I think the biggest problem I have right now is that my two pods here are trying to fight each other for dominance of this ship, which is bad. Okay, come on, there. But of course, the more parts I pull off this thing, the easier it becomes to maneuver it. Okay, so we're within 100 meters of this thing. Now, my problem is, as you can see, it is slowly trying to move. So, what I want to do is I want to adjust it such that it is not doing that anymore. So, apparently my reaction control wheel is not powerful enough at all. I really should have put RCS tanks on this thing. That's alright. Because that probe is actually going to attach to the top. So I need to point at my ascension node here. Actually, I think that's the descension node. It's alright. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Stop. Because I need to switch back to that. And kill speed. Alright. Next section. Couple. Okay. And set as target. Alright. Okay. So we need to move towards the target, right? Okay. Do that like that. Okay. And then we burn. But I think you guys can kind of get an idea of what I'm doing here. Okay, so slow it down, slow it down, slow it down. Okay. Slow it down, back up a little bit. Need to go that way. Rotating may not actually be a bad idea, so that way left and right and up and down are all left and right and up and down. Okay. So what I need to do is I need to point that first, then like that, then like that, and like that, and then H. And L, a little bit of H, now a little bit of N, and a quick tick of J, and then and K. Okay. Tap of I. Tap of I. Wow, that went quickly. Okay, so T. R. Okay. Undock. Good. T, I need you to restabilize yourself. No, it's not going to be easy. I'm reluctant to use the RCS, so we'll quick save real quick. Turn the RCS on and see what happens. Okay. So I need you to sit right there. Nice. Alright, I'm going to let you just slowly drift. Go ahead and set you as target. Okay. Turn your RCS on, turn your stability control on. Okay. Burn. I'm not going to lie to you guys, this is the most complicated maneuver I have ever done in this game. Like, this is literally the worst thing I have ever attempted. Fun as hell though, but like seriously very nerve-wracking, this thing. Okay, so burn. And I'm actually really loving this little probe, to tell you the truth. It is meeting and or exceeding all of my expectations. I mean, it's very maneuverable, this thing, without being like clumsy and like cumbersome and all that. Oh, dang it. He says before he realizes that it is clumsy and cumbersome. But then again, this is... Yeah, no you don't. Yeah, I see what you're trying to do. Okay, so I need to first... Because the problem is, I'm trying to dock with a moving target, which is not easy. Here we go. So first, I need to slow the hell down, is what you're saying. Okay. So I need to go up a tiny bit. No, I need to go up a tiny bit. Ourselves towards the target, please. Thank you. Okay, no, there we go. This is why we rotate. Slowly up is up. Down is down, and left is right and right. Okay. So my two objects are getting dangerously close to one another. I'm actually doing a lot of this by eyesight, to tell you the truth. Here we go. And with the assistance of mag attach. So I need to set as target because I need to see how far away I am and whether or not I'm getting closer or farther. Okay, we are getting farther. That's good. Okay, so now, ooh, you see, that is why I shut that engine off. Okay, so we are actually getting farther away from it, which is what I want. I need a quick save there. I need to go here, no. Here, here, transfer out. Okay. Here, here, transfer out. Because what I will inevitably eventually do is I will eventually attach the whole rocket to the station and refill all the monopropellant and all that. But I just want to make sure I have plenty to perform this one last maneuver. Which looks like we should have enough. Okay, so last one. Here we go. Okay, so pull ourselves away. Past our station here. Now if you're worried about what's going to happen to this little probe, don't. Because remember, my rocket actually has its own probe body attached to it. Okay. So I want that set as my target. And the reason I want that set as my target is because this way I know which way I'm going in relation to it. So there, and I need to burn there. So now we should be vaguely heading towards it. Yep. Okay. So give me a tick of H. A little bit of L and some K. Whoa, 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 whoa. No, you don't. A little bit gun-ho there, didn't you, Jethro? Okay, so what I want to do now is I want to point this way. And this way. Rotate a tiny bit. Alright. Then I want to go what is in essence down. Over, down. And then I need to rotate, I need to turn this way. Then this way. Wow, this is gonna suck. Okay, so we need to go this way then. So let me go ahead and shut the RCS. Okay, so back to you. Alright. We may have overshot a tiny bit there, but that's okay. The weird thing about this is, if you can believe it, I'm actually better at doing this than I am at regular docking. Strange, isn't it? Okay. to rotate a tiny bit. That thing is really getting in the way. More so than it's helping, to tell you the truth. Take forward. Ladies and gentlemen, undock. It is done. Look at that. That's more or less what I was talking about. I'm missing a light though, which stinks. So what I'm going to do first is switch to my probe here. And my probe is actually going to attach to the bottom of this. To do that, RCS. Okay, what I want to do now is I want to set that as my target. And then I need to go any direction really, except for forward or backwards. So, okay. So in actuality, I want I. Ugh. There we go. Now I want H. With a little bit of I. Okay. In. There we go. Okay. So I actually need to rotate first, so that way all my stuff is properly correct here. Okay. So when all my HKs and I's are where they are supposed to be, I need to H back a little bit. Okay, so a slight tick back is fine. Okay. 2 there. To tell you the truth, I am better without that docking node, that docking UI, than I am with it. Okay. Which says a lot, doesn't it? As in, why do I have it if I'm... I can do all of this stuff without it. Well, I have it because... And attached. Now that should, in theory, of course, help keep all of that stable.